Hey everybody, Justin Worden, you're watching What's New in Electronics. It is the final day of SMTA Chicago, and I saved the best for last. Brian from Mirtec is in the hot seat. How are you today, man?
I'm doing good. I don't know if I can live up to that expectation, but I'm doing good.
You're like, how do you have so much energy this early in the morning?
You know what? I have no idea how. I think a lot of coffee works for me.
Yeah.
Kind of like, I spill it on my lap, it wakes me up.
Yeah.
It works.
I think I've gone back and asked for espresso like 5 times, and they're like, who are you?
Exactly. I think the maximum is 5 espresso shots in 1 cup of coffee.
I think I did.
Then they start looking at you funny.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, why is he shaking? I'm nervous. No, Brian. Hey, I want to say congratulations. I was there last night. You got or yesterday or the day before. You got another award.
Yes,
Mirtec is just keeps improving and improving. Like, how do you do that?
Well, you know what? We do focus on having the most technologically advanced equipment out there. So that just comes from our R&D guys. And so it's really fun. When they do accept these awards, it's definitely on behalf of our R&D team. They do a great job. And our sales and support organization. But I think we're up to 48 awards for our products and services over the last 20 years. This is our 20th year of being in business. At least Mirtec Corp, which is in the US. 20 years.
You said something that I want to come back to. You said products and service.
Yes.
Let's not even talk about the products. The awards sell the products. We know the products are good. Let's talk about the service side of Mirtec and how that is really pushing the business forward.
Service is huge. My background, I came from actually field service, right? I did field service, then applications, and I joined the dark side and I started selling equipment, right? But the bottom line is you can have the best product in the world, but if you don't have a strong sales and service organization to back that product, it's worthless. So the key thing is to focus on making the customers happy. If your customers are happy, they're going to buy from you. They'll continue to buy from you. The main thing to do is when you're providing equipment to a customer, when they have issues, that's when you become extremely important to them. You have issues, you got to take care of them. Well, and that's what we're here to do.
Absolutely, and I think that's really the testament to why Mirtec is so successful, because I think it's easy to get that first sale, but the next sale is the hardest.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you're right, and it gets to be harder and harder. Especially as now I think I have 26 competitors out there, so if you don't take care of your customers, somebody else will. That's what it comes down to. And that's how you earn that next machine. Most of the companies out there, we have small mom and pop shops. We also have very large companies. When you're talking, 20, 30, 50, hundreds of machines, you definitely have to support that kind of that customer. Otherwise, someone else will definitely take your business for you.
And with your support team, you have local support. So you have people in there that understand the language, understand the culture. They're able to really connect with that customer and give them that sense of, I'm going to be okay.
Yeah, it really comes down to your being an ongoing resource to your customers. So all my guys, all of our support team, the reps that we use as well, they all have very good industry knowledge. So they become a resource of information, a resource of something that the customers look to for help throughout the process. Some customers are new to SMT, right? Or some customers, there's a lot of changeover and it's tough to find good people. And these people have got to be trained in the processes and stuff. And that's what we're here to do. Is basically hold their hand, not condescendingly, but hold their hand throughout the process and make them successful. And that's how you win the business for the next machine.
Yeah, and I walked by your booth earlier today in preparation for this interview, and I heard a lot of conversations that actually didn't even have to do with the Mirtec equipment. So when you're talking about helping and holding their hand in a good way, we're not just talking about what Mirtec does. They're helping them throughout their entire process.
Absolutely. But the one thing, inspection is very crucial to any SMT manufacturing line, because we're basically giving that data back to the customer as to how their process is working, how the other machines are working, right, in building their boards. But there's also questions about screen printers and ovens and what profile should things be set to. The more knowledgeable you are about that process, once again, the more of an ongoing resource you can be to the customer. So it really is crucial to know a lot more about what you're doing, not just the AOI portion of it. It really is imperative to know the entire process, I believe. And that's the way we sell. So it's more of a consultative sales effort, with the customers, but I think that's what works, or it has worked.
Yeah, I mean, it gives the customer the comfort knowing that you're there to help them. But, in your specific line, you're not always giving them good news. Sometimes you're telling them what they're doing wrong.
Totally.
So you have to have that trust. I mean, it's good when you're like, oh, your process is amazing.
Yeah.
But how do you handle it when it's like, you're not doing this right?
Actually, sometimes I like when the process isn't really that good, because then my machines become even more important, but then it helps them to make it better. Yeah, sometimes you do have to give them bad news. Sometimes there's the wrong people running the equipment. Sometimes they're just running it wrong. Sometimes you can train somebody and then they lose sight of what you trained them to do. And sometimes it's very difficult to have those conversations, but we do once again have very good relationships with our customers, so we can just tell them flat out, this is what you need to do. My goal is your goal. My goal is to make sure that you are successful, 100% successful. And they understand that. Our customers they really do understand that.
And I've worked in sales long enough to know that if it's not perfect, they're going to blame us anyways.
Absolutely.
It's always
Of course.
our fault.
It's always my fault. Yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
It's like being married. Exactly. It's always my fault.
I'm sorry. I've learned that very well. I'm sorry.
Those two words get you out of a lot of stuff.
Absolutely. Well, hey, Brian, it's always fun talking with you, man. I appreciate you stopping by.
Pleasure
And
as
again,
always, Justin.
congratulations.
Thank you.